Hey y'all, welcome back to the channel. This is a video that I'm just gonna do for my car because frankly I don't need notes in front of me. I don't really need a setup. Just trying to knock this one out, honestly. Full transparency, I said that every trade made in the JPDL will get its own video. Not saying I'm starting to regret that sentiment, but it's trades like this that make you question why, and I get the point, right? You guys are seeing the trade up on the screen in front of you. Mikkel, the Chiraq Shooters, they are picking up Jimmy Garoppolo for what projects to be a late third this year in 2026 and then a 2028 fourth. So again, really nothing for nothing getting traded here. I do wonder how many starts Jimmy Garoppolo would need to pay off that price tag. Maybe we'll set it at like 3. Like if Jimmy Garoppolo starts 3 games this year, maybe that's worth it. And look, Mikkel has Matthew Stafford, so obviously with the back injury that he's dealing with in training camp, it's somewhat prudent to get the backup to handcuff your quarterback. But at the same time, it's like Mikkel, it's not like Mikkel's in a competing position right now. He's one of the expansion teams. I don't know. I don't think I would make this trade. If I were Mikkel, I would just roll the dice that Stafford's okay, and if he's not, who really cares? It helps the tank anyways. But yeah, I mean, I don't even remember Vice City. Yeah, I mean, good to pick up draft capital for a dead asset, I guess. But hey, maybe Jimmy G has a resurgence one year. We saw with Sam Darnold, people thought he was dead. People thought Bryce Young was dead. There's stories, Baker Mayfield, he had that one Rams start, and people were pronouncing him dead. So there is some sort of history of quarterbacks coming back, resurrecting their careers. I'm not going to project that in this situation. I think, again, this is really nothing comes from nothing, just a big nothing trade. But I did want to talk about something else, and it's a theory that I've been working on. I'm kind of workshopping it right now, so tread lightly on this because I haven't fully fleshed it out. It's still, I would say, the oven's still on. It's still baking. It's still gooey in the middle. So I just wanted to say, and again, Jimmy Garoppolo is not a great example to use to make this point, but I do wonder, is there a correlation between attractiveness and success as a quarterback? Now, Jimmy G, has he been a successful NFL quarterback? No. But he was traded for a lot of draft capital at one point, and he did make the NFL. So, out of every NFL player that's ever played, or every football player that's ever played, Jimmy Garoppolo has done better than 99.999% of them. And this is where my theory starts to work, right? If you're an attractive person, and I would know this, right? So I am the right person to make this point, and it takes a brain like this coming from, obviously an attractive person to be able to think through this kind of thing. But is there a correlation between attractiveness and quarterback success? Tom Brady, obviously gorgeous. Joe Burrow, handsome man. Maybe not Lamar to a certain extent. I would say, Jaden Daniels has some attractive features. And obviously, when you have a certain low body fat percent, you're already going to be a pretty attractive person. But hey, we're getting off topic. Back to youth ball, right? Who gets the quarterback position? Who starts playing quarterback? It's the confident kids that pick up the football and start to throw it around from a young age. So my question is a confident person more likely from a young age to want to play quarterback? Probably. And so, like, if you're on the chubbier side as a kid, you're going to be, you're going down the offensive lineman route. You're going down the defensive lineman route. And so you're starting off ahead. And then what really is a quarterback if not a leader for men? And we could say, I think men are more likely to listen to someone that they look up to. And hey, that could be a variety of factors. It could be intelligence. It could be their pregame speech. It could be the way they carry themselves, their aura. Okay? And wouldn't an attractive person have more aura? All things equal. And so would a quarterback, someone, not even a quarterback, because they're not a quarterback yet, but a kid at a young age who started to pick up the football and throw it around because he has confidence in himself, and then that confidence compounds on itself, so then by the time they get to high school, they're the man on campus, right? They're the queen bee. They're the guy in the middle of all the social circles, and that propels them forward. So then they get this idea of themselves that, hey, everything in my life has worked out to this point. I'm popular, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to go play quarterback in high school, or I'm going to go play quarterback in college. I have a dream to be an NFL quarterback, and I'm crazy enough to go pursue that dream. I don't know. That's just what I'm thinking. And so, you look at Joe Montana, attractive. I would say John Elway, Dan Marino. I mean, come on. You look at a lot of the best quarterbacks of all time, and they have, certain attractive features, right? I don't know where I'm going with this. I just needed something to talk about that wasn't this trade. And again, maybe Jimmy G isn't the perfect example of this, but I'm just saying, is there something here, or am I crazy? Because I feel like, I brought this up in the group chat yesterday, Peyton Manning obviously doesn't really fit this. But again, guys, look, outliers don't disprove the rule, right? So if we're just looking, if you take the average offensive lineman, if you take the average receiver, if you take the average cornerback, and you compare them, if you just asked a bunch of girls, right, or hey, anyone for that matter, and you just asked them to pick which one's more attractive, my bet would be at quarterbacks are the most attractive position. Irregardless of their standing, irregardless of, obviously they're the ones who get the most face time, the most media attention. I don't know. I'm just saying, I think there's something there. And again, this is half-baked. This isn't a fully concrete theory. I couldn't write a dissertation on it as of this moment. It's just something that I got my eye on. And Jackson Dart last night is really why I wanted to talk about this, right? Because Jackson Dart, you just see him. He's exuding confidence on the sideline. He's been the guy since day one. And he's going into a quarterback battle with Russell Wilson, with Jameis Winston, with a bunch of, really dudes out there, right? And he's still, showing out. He's making plays. And part of that is the confidence that's probably been in him since he was born. Since he was a handsome young lad in whatever middle school he went to. Again, I feel like I need to lay my premise here. This isn't finalized. I'm just saying, there might be something here. So, Jimmy Garoppolo, maybe he didn't work out, maybe he won't work out in the future. I just got my eye on it. I don't know if this is actionable advice, but maybe when we're scouting, when we're doing rookie drafts in the future, maybe that's something to keep an eye on. Maybe that's, we all know that Moneyball scene, right? Can't draft him. He has low confidence because he has an ugly girlfriend. And, they're laughed at. The scouts are laughed at. Blah, blah, blah. It's Moneyball. It's all about analytics. Maybe we need to go back. Maybe we've gone too far in the analytics. And beauty is in the eye of the beholder. There's no number there. So to one person, someone's a 10. To another person, that same person's a 5. So it's not an exact science. But there is something there. And that's all I needed to say. So I'm going to give this win to Vice City on value. But the real winner is the lessons we learned along the way in fantasy football. And this is today's lesson, I guess.